Hi, my name is Katie Moyer. I am a Beachbody Live Master Trainer, and I want to share with you 3 incredible, motivating reasons why you should want to learn the 32 count. If you teach group exercise, and it doesn't have to be a Beachbody Live format, hopefully you became an instructor because you want to help people and lead them through a workout that's easy to follow, that you're able to adjust in the moment of your class to be able to give your students what they need so that they get more out of the workout. I always say that a group exercise instructor is really somebody who makes a daily positive impact on someone, right? And yes, we have endorphins after a workout, but the true magic of what we do as group exercise instructors is you come into my class and hopefully you get more out of the workout than you thought you could when you walked in. So now you're walking out thinking, I was tired, but I really got a great workout in. That's my job. And hopefully, if you really see the value in the 32 count, you can deliver that every single class with one simple, seemingly insignificant skill called the 32 count, or musical phrasing, or musicality, whatever you want to call it. But if you know music, the #1 motivator in any group exercise fitness class, you can be not just a good instructor, but a great instructor. So why should you learn the 32 count? #1, your students naturally expect a change on the top of the phrase. And whether your students even know what a 32 count is, musicality, a beat, or even what the top of the phrase is, that doesn't matter. They don't have to know the details, but they're gonna naturally expect a change when the music changes, and that typically happens on the top of the phrase. So if you became an instructor and you want people to follow you and you want them to be successful, doesn't it make sense to use the music to your advantage? It's the #1 motivator in every single group exercise class. And if you're not using it to your advantage, I want to ask you why, or at least have you think, why am I not? And maybe it's just because it's a boot camp class or it's something where it doesn't fit, but teaching on the beat of the music or with the musical phrasing is like swimming with or against the current. You can absolutely swim against the current, but if you're going to go against the current and you got 5 people behind you trying to fight the current with you, the chances of you guys being in sync and on time and all moving together as one unit, not very likely, because you're fighting the current. However, if you turn around and you go with the current, you'll naturally start to fall into a rhythm together because you all just kind of naturally flow down, and there's this natural pulse of the flow of the river. That current kind of has a natural pulse. Music has a natural pulse. So it's your choice, but what I think about the 32 count is I use it to my advantage. Use it to your advantage. People in your class will naturally expect a change on the top of the phrase. So why not use that to your advantage so that you can lead people through not just a workout, but so that they feel like it's super easy to follow you. Whatever you do, it doesn't matter. It's just easy to follow you. That's the kind of instructor you want to be, right? Hope so. The second reason you're going to want to learn the 32 count or be motivated to learn the 32 count is it's going to save you time as an instructor. So for instance, in one of the classes that I teach, Turbo Kick or Pyo, there are layers. So we build up to 4 layers. However, we always start with the first layer, right? It's kind of like building a cupcake. You got to start with the cake. And we're going to build that cake and make sure the cake is really good and strong before we put frosting and all that stuff on it, because guess what? If it's not good cake, the frosting and the candles, sprinkles, they don't matter. It's the same with layering. So we got to make sure we have a strong foundation, right? That cake. Oh, now my cake's getting bigger. So we got to make sure we have a strong foundation. So that layer 1, I don't have to think, okay, I need to do this 4 times and then move on. I have to do this 6 times and then move on. And while I'm teaching and trying to motivate people and cue and also be on the beat of the music, think, okay, we did this 4 times, we did it 5 times, we did 6 times. Okay, now I got a cue that we need to change. I'm not even thinking about that. Why? Because I know the 32 count. What I'm thinking in that moment is, are my students successful? Are they feeling successful? Because if they're not on the same page as me, that's on me as the instructor. I, as the instructor, am not communicating something. So guess what? We're going to stay here in this first layer until we all get it, or at least until 80%. That's usually a good number. 80% of your students get it, then you want to move on. However, you move on to the second move. Maybe that one's really quick. It's really super quick, so then you can add on the third one. My point with this is that I don't have to memorize how many times I do things. I just know the end product. I know the 4 layers, and I let my class kind of help me decide on when to add it. I don't have to sit there and think, okay, how many of these do I have to learn? And I'm going to turn on the music in my car on the way there and learn it. That's not even going through my mind. All I'm thinking is, I'm just going to go and I'm going to show up to class, and I know my stuff because I just need to know my 4 moves. Once I know my 4 moves, then I let my class dictate how fast I move through them. Which kind of is the same thing as leading me into my next point, but the third and most motivating reason is that knowing the 32 count allows you to be able to, in the moment when you're teaching a class, to be able to adjust so that your class is successful. Meaning, when I was just talking about those 4 layers, it saves me time as an instructor. I only have to learn 4 layers. Simple. But when I learn each of those layers, guess what? I get to decide in the moment what my class needs. And if you can be the instructor that delivers what your class needs the moment that they need it, so that they're successful and that they don't just do the movement, but that they feel successful doing it, think about that. That's where your real impact comes. That is the magic of a truly great instructor. Not a good instructor, a great instructor. It's not someone who rushes through the choreography. It's somebody who sees in the moment that, hey, everyone's turned different ways, so you know what? We're going to all come back together, and we're going to stay right here, and we're going to get on the same page, and then we're going to move on when we as a team are ready to move on. Not just because we did it 6 times and the choreography says I got to move on after 6 times. No, I'm going to do it 7, I'm going to do it 8, however many times I want. But I know when to change because I know the 32 count. And how do my students know how to change with me? Yes, I'm cueing, but they know the 32 count, and the 32 count naturally makes people want to change on that top of the phrase. So I know these reasons all might kind of seem like they blend together, but that's why the 32 count is an invaluable task as a group exercise instructor. No, you don't have to teach with it, but do you want to swim against the current or with the current and have 5 people follow you? Do you want to save yourself time as a group exercise instructor and not have to memorize how many numbers of things you have to do? All you do is learn your choreography and then you add it layer by layer. And third, and probably the best reason, do you want to be the instructor that gives your class exactly what it needs in the moment that you're in it with them? Do you want to be the instructor that as a team, you look out and you say, okay, we got this, we're moving on, or no, we don't got this, but we're gonna come back together and I'm gonna help you get this? Think of how much more motivating that is and how much more success you're gonna have and how your class is gonna build, because whether someone's new or a vet, they're all gonna have a lot of fun because you're the instructor that can change in the moment that your class needs it. You can deliver the class that your class needs on that day, regardless of the level. Why? Because you know the 32 count. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to the channel. I try my very, very best to give you as much tips and tricks to be the best group exercise instructor you can be. Why? Because I love group exercise. I think we are daily positive impactors. I think we make a difference live and in person that you don't get in other professions. And guess what? If you get more people into your class, even if it's not a Beachbody Live class, that's more people in my Group X room. That's somebody else bringing people into this big room so that they feel safe and they feel like this is the place where I tangibly challenge my own comfort zone. And so maybe I'll go to a different class. And if you can help get more people in there, now you're helping my whole world. So please subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you need to be the best group fitness instructor that you need, and I am happy to share my tips and tricks with you. But you have to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.